Welcome to the Paisley Pirates podcast, your ringside pass to players, coaches, and the people who keep the fire burning. The ship sails with all of you on board. Coming up in this episode.
I did start playing. It was unfortunate that the league shut down, so I had to move elsewhere to a different team throughout my junior. So I've always wanted to play for the Pirates. He scored a penalty shot into me when I think I was like 17 and he was 20, or however old he is. And he was giving me dog's abuse after because I won them the tournament and it was at the final. But no, I'd definitely say playing with the Pirates definitely benefited me.
And joining me in this week's episode is none other than one of our two goalies. But today we are speaking with Callum Donaghy. Callum, thank you so much for chatting with me tonight.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me, Callum.
So you probably heard as well, we start every single episode with the exact same question. What's your favourite biscuit?
Probably say my favourite biscuit is, it's quite controversial, but I love a jammy Dodger.
I love a jammy Dodger.
Been having it since as long as I can remember, so consistency. I haven't had any as long as that.
So are you able to ever sneak in while senior and all that are getting ready and steal a biscuit before you get in the house?
I've done that a few times in the past, but I think I had a bad game and I've done it once, so I'm quite superstitious. So any game day, I only have 2 bowls of cereal in the morning, and that's me till after the game. So
really, even if you're playing late on in the day.
Yeah, so even if it's away up to Aberdeen, half 7 face off at night, I'll have my 2 bowls of cereal before the bus, and that's me. I don't know why. It's just I think I've done it once and I had a good game. I was like, yeah, that's me.
Listen, I'll be honest. I know a guy that will play a game of hockey and he'll always have the same pair of boxer shorts on because there
you go. I'm sure there's another team that does that as well.
More than likely, it's going to be bad if you're playing a full weekend tournament, but at the same time, fair play to you, fair play. So let's just kick things right off. So you're one of the hometown boys from Paisley as well. What does it mean wearing the Pirates jersey to you?
It's massive to me. I've always, as long as I've played ice hockey or even before I started playing hockey and just done skating lessons, I've always went to the Pirates games at the Lagoon starting off. So as a young boy, I've been a massive fan of the club. And when I did start playing, it was unfortunate that the Lagoon shut down, so I had to move elsewhere to a different team throughout my junior. So I've always wanted to play for the Pirates ever since I started skating, really. So it's a huge deal to me, for sure, and a bit of family background as well. It's my grandparents who got me into it, so when they found out I was playing for the Pirates, they were over them. Unfortunately, my grandpa never got to find out, but my gran does, and she loves the fact that I play for them. Absolutely.
That's brilliant. And the fact that the family is kind of willing you along with it as well, because for them as well, they've probably grown up, potentially grown up watching the Pirates play as well from the old Paisley ice rink, even before our time, So what got you into being a keeper though? Did you actually try to play out front first and then step back? How did it all work out for you?
I was a player for about 6 months. This was when I was 8 or 9 years old, and I'm not too sure if anyone will remember him, but there was a guy that used to coach our sessions. It was Bernie Bruce and a guy called Danny McAllister, who was a colourful character that those who know him. He coached me as well at North Air for a while, but he was mental, so he used to line us up in the blue line, just all the players, and you had the stick handle for about 10 minutes, and if you missed the puck, he'd scream at you. So I was like, I'm not enjoying this, and I looked down the rink and I saw the goalie, and he was just kind of sitting on the ice, and I thought, that looks so much easier than what I'm doing. So my grandpa bought me all the kit, became a goalie that week, and it turned out to be a lot harder than I expected. But I felt bad, I had a guilty conscience because they spent quite a lot of money on my stuff, so I just committed my full playing career to being a goalie after that, unfortunately.
I was going to say that from going to a skater to being a goalie, it's you're probably adding about at least £600-700 on top of the actual bill you've just paid as well.
Exactly.
So you were just talking about a couple of the guys there that that took you for your first bout of training. Was there any kind of mentors or inspiration along that path for you? To get into it. I mean, even the guy you saw the other end of the ice just kind of chilling out. that was an inspiration. But is there any goalies you kind of look at now, or any goalie coaches you look at that really you look up to in your career?
Yeah, definitely. Apart from watching the NHL stuff, obviously scapegoat ones, everyone says I loved watching Carey Price and Fleury and stuff back in the day. But personally getting coached by. There's a couple of guys that were really good with me. Jim Foster being one of them. He ran like a goalie clinic when I played for North Air in my junior years. I think it was from like under 12s up until 16s or so. So I trained with him quite a lot throughout 4 or 5 years. So he was really good, very encouraging. So he did a lot better. And when I was younger as well, when I first played with North Air, Colin McGill, he trained me. He played for the Pirates for a bit as well. Moved over to Canada, and I think he came back and signed like a 2-way for the Clan or something like that. I think, but I remember him when I was younger because he was the under 20s goalie when I was under 10s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So he took up training, like they called that abusing the goalies. So the players would go and do their drill, and then he'd take 3 of us and just make us skate about like dafties and up and down in butterflies and stuff like that. But he kept us fit, to be fair. So he was really good. So those 2 guys, I'd say, were quite impactful on me personally, being a goalie, for sure.
So I've been to see a few of the training sessions of the Pirates, and I've seen how Ian and Rab kind of coach the skaters. But do you feel as if you still get that good amount of 1-to-1 with them as well, as goalies as well? Yeah,
definitely. A few times when I've met with Ian and Rab during last season and stuff as well. I'm not trying to brag for me and Daniel or anything, but I do normally say being the goalie is probably one of the most important positions, if not the most important, because there's only 2 of us, and if we're not there, then who do they bring in, sort of thing. Instead of having a larger arsenal of players. But no, they're good for it, and they always kind of make you feel included, and they do drills kind of tailored to us as well. At times, at some point in the training, sometimes there's a questionable warm-up. You go on nice and it's just a 3 or no. You're like, right, okay. Try not to get injured for that. But no, they do take time to warm up the goalies and stuff, and make time for us in that sense.
So, kind of talking about where you're at just now with Paisley, you've signed, season after season. What is it that keeps you at Paisley?
Probably there's a few things. I'd firstly say the players in the team. It's a great bunch of guys. Probably it's an old cliche as well, though, but it is true. I believe that the team we've got is just, even if we're at a sense where talent-wise we may not be the best other teams of the league, but it's like a group of guys who would dig deep for each other, and generally like every weekend we'll go to war for each other, which is a great thing to be a part of. And it's good as well. Like, I've been missing it recently because I'm injured, but during the week it's great. Breaking up the week after work, you think I've had a rubbish day, but you go to training, you have a laugh with the guys, you take a slagging as soon as you walk in the door. It's quite it's quite a good way to make you forget about your worries and stuff. So that's another reason why I just play hockey all the time, because it's good to have it. The summer break's good, but you do miss it during the winter when you've broke a routine, or it's just a good place to be with a good group of guys, definitely. So
in Rab and Ian's episode, Rab said that being amongst the team is like being with your extended chosen family. Do you feel like that? That kind of camaraderie with the guys?
Definitely, yeah. It's funny as well because there's a few guys in the team that I played against when I was in juniors, and I hated them. One of them being there, Brian Parkin. I used to hate him, honestly. He scored a penalty shot into me when I think I was like 17 and he was 20, or however old he is. And he was giving me dogs abuse after, because I won them the tournament and it was like the final. Yeah. And I remember they joined the Pirates, and I was like, that's that guy scored that goal to me. I was like, he's a dick. And then, but ever since then, we had a laugh about it, and he's a great guy, but amongst others as well. But it's brilliant.
So what you're saying is you don't hold grudges against your teammates, just the guys you're against?
If I ever left though, I'd be back to where it was. That's why he keeps coming back as well.
So let's quickly bit of recap on last season. So before we hit record, we started talking about this. So your games played for last season was 7. Is that right for a goalie? Obviously, you've got Dan in there as well. You swap in and out. Is that usually the kind of the average or the kind of the right amount for per season?
Depends. I think every team's different. There was a few teams last season that seemed to do like a kind of 50-50 split. But then again, there was others. There was predominantly one goalie playing, and they had a backup. I feel like with us, and it has been like this historically, but it's just whoever's playing at the top of their game does generally get the ice time or get the nod for the game. But I feel like I'm not that I'm there to just make up a number and push Daniel to do better, but I feel like I did have one of my best seasons last season for the amount of time I played. There was a few games that didn't really go too well, but to still be over 90% mark, which is the kind of benchmark where you want to be, but I feel like it was quite good. But yeah, I think it probably worked though, because Daniel wasn't a good run for most of the season. I took a short break over the Christmas period because I was over in Australia. And I missed a few games. I think one of the games got cancelled, but I missed a few games, so I wasn't training either. So that set me back a wee bit. And then at that point, you're kind of gearing up for the playoffs anyway. So I feel like it was the right thing to do for them to give Daniel most of the ice time in that regard. And then I think from then on to the end of the season, I played a couple of times, but it was understandable because he was playing well. So I can't complain in that regard at all.
So you obviously we're talking about Dan McGowan, obviously second goalie, but we've also got another backup goalie that he's kind of seldomly kind of remembered, like, to a lot of the fans. But Jake Riley as well, he's doing really well for himself on the team, isn't he? Absolutely,
yeah. He's kind of merged in well with the group as well. And you see him improving in training as well. When I was his age, I was not playing as well as he was, which is brilliant. And I'm pretty sure he's in the national team as well for the 17s, which is great. So now he is doing brilliant, and they'll do him good in the long run as well, because I think he's got a few years left, under 19s too, but I'm sure by the time it's for him to move up, he would have already played a good few games by then. He's going in the right direction for sure. But now, well, I respect him, and he'll be some competition soon for sure.
Brilliant. So we're looking back at the stats, just as you said, your save percentage was over 90%. Your goal against average was 3.59. Your shots saved, I think this is really impressive, 237. Surely that left hand is killing you at the end of the season.
I normally miss him, that hits my wrist, so but it's nothing worse than a stinger right in the middle of the glove. It was good because I feel like I think out of the 7 games I played, a few of them was getting brought in kind of halfway through the game cold. So it's always tough when you get brought in if the team's down a few goals and the game's kind of not done because it's quite early on sometimes, but it's in that direction. It's like a bit of a losing battle sometimes, so it's quite tough to jump in a game like that, especially for a warm-up if the other team's playing pretty well against us. But no, I feel like in that respect, the games that I did start or come in when they did, I feel like I did pretty decent thereabouts. A couple of games though I didn't play that well at all, but it's going to be one of the ones you can't save every shot, and there's always going to be, you can have a great season, there'll be 2 or 3 games that you thought you could have done better. Unfortunately, there's 2 or 3 games I thought that, and only played 7 games, so it's a bit of a tough one. But I was hoping this season would be different and a fresh start, but I've been kind of held back, unfortunately, so hopefully I'll be back playing pretty soon.
No, definitely. But also we've got the few pre-seasons coming up as well, and then the season officially starts at the start of September. So are you hoping to be starting on at least one of the pre-seasons, or wait until the season officially starts?
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's a bit of a crossroads just now because with the injury I've got, I don't think I'll be playing for. It's a bit brief because I'm having like chest issues just now, so it's not like a muscle or a bone. So I'm just kind of waiting to get improvements. So it could be from 1 month to 3 months, I've been told. So I just need to kind of wait and see how it pans out, unfortunately. And take care of myself off the ice, which is a bit annoying, to be fair. It's annoying as well because I went to the game on Sunday there, and that was the first time I've seen the guys all summer, so I haven't been able to train just yet, but I'm hoping sooner rather than later I'll be back playing, and it doesn't really take me too long to get back into things once I get going, so hopefully I can be back in soon, fingers crossed.
Is it, Ian will be the first to tell you health comes first.
Exactly, that's it. No, definitely.
So just going back to the last season stats, the amount of shots you're saving, what is your mental process as a goalie when you're having to, wave after wave of attack like that? How do you get yourself kind of like, how do you psych yourself up for it?
I think, to be honest, I do it subconsciously now, but it's the best way for me, it will be different for everyone, but best thing for me is just to not think about it and just go solely off your instincts. I feel like there's been some times where I've overthought or got in my head a bit too much, and it just affects your performance. You're not really, I'd probably say it's too focused, it's like a bit overkill. I feel like the best way to do it is if you're constantly getting attacked on and off. You'll find yourself that sometimes it's 2 or 3 minutes straight that you're just getting constantly shot against or pressure on you. So as soon as the puck leaves, for me, it's just thinking nothing and just relax the body and make sure just get the blood flowing as well. So I think if you're too tight up and you're all tensed up and stuff, it kind of affects your reactions and that as well. So for me personally, it's just keep a clear head, and if you let in a goal, just forget about it. The game's, I always pretend regardless of the scoreline, it's still 0-0. So even if I've let him up 3 goals, I think, right, in my head, am I right, still not letting a goal yet, let's keep it as competitive as possible for the team and try and save as many as possible, but it doesn't always work out that way, unfortunately.
So how would you normally communicate with the defence to help maintain that kind of calm under pressure?
Well, I kind of contradict myself here because I'm always shouting at the top of my lungs. But to be fair, it's mainly things just like if they're skating towards the boards to get the puck and there's a guy right on them, I'll shout like man on or something like that. Or, if there's a 2-on-1 against us, I'd always shout the player to take the other guy and I'll face the shot on, and if it goes in, it's my bad. So it's nothing worse when you're committed to that guy and a defender comes in and gets in the way and they just pass it across and it's a tap in pretty much. But any time like we're getting attacked quite heavily and there's a stoppage in play or I freeze the puck, I'll always just chat to the defender saying like, keep up, keep doing that, or if I cover a puck early, I'm like, that's so you can get a change sort of thing, get off ice and get the legs rested. So I always try my best to communicate with defenders as much as possible. If you're not talking to each other at the back, it's a bit of a controlled chaos a wee bit sometimes. So everyone's running around the daft. I'll try to keep a cool head on it, but it is easier said than done. Like sometimes my head went down after letting in a few goals and then it's out the window sort of thing. But it does happen. But I just try to talk to them as much as possible, even if it's the smallest thing, because the more you're talking to them, or like a fist bump here and there, just gets the mood up, I think. And it's quite encouraging for the guys, I'd say.
So with the weight of that moment, does that kind of help you focus, or is it more of a challenge, would you say? It
depends. I think at the very start of the game, it helps me focus a lot more. But sometimes if it's been a tough game, it's a bit of a slog and we're getting heavily outshot, it's quite easy to kind of let the fatigue become mental fatigue as well. And, slowly kind of lose ahead a wee bit sometimes. But to be honest, like I found myself, it sounds weird, but I do prefer games like that where you're getting constantly shot on, because there's nothing worse if you're playing a game and like it's like 10 minutes into the game and there's a breakaway, it's your first shot and goal. You're not really ready for it, you're kind of cold, and it's a breakaway as well, so like you're expected to save it, but anything can happen. So I do prefer it, like when I'm kept busy to some degree. Like you like a lot of shots from the outside, so you can see them and track them, stuff like that. It's for me personally, I prefer being busy, but not too busy, or it's a kind of low quality of shots against. So it's a lot of them, but they're not really that dangerous. So it keeps you warmed up for when the time comes where it's a grade A chance. Like you're on your toes, ready for it.
Hey, it's Callum here, just quickly interjecting, just to give you a brief update on the live show. We are now no longer going to be hosting it on the 30th of August, just due to some conflicting schedules. We now need to move the date. So we are now going to be hosting this on Friday, the 12th of September, still at the Wine Centre, still the same price of tickets, still at the same times. All the tickets that have been paid for already will be honoured on the night. Don't worry about that. But we have got a cracking lineup waiting for you. They'll be announced very, very soon. But yeah, that is the 12th of September at the Wine Centre in Paisley, no longer the 30th of August. And yeah, we can't wait to see you there. So we have seen, mentions of you, just the performances that you've had in like really tight games. Can you maybe think of maybe one match the past season where you felt you've really made a strong difference?
Reason I think of it is because we played on Sunday, but I think it was not the Fender against Kirkcaldy last season, but we played them in a league game. I think before the New Year, I believe. It was quite early in the season, but yeah, I think we were winning 2-1, or we were drawn 2 each with 20 minutes, with the third period left to play, 20 minutes, and I think we got the go-ahead goal with like 5 minutes to go or something, and then ever since that, the Kirkcaldy team they didn't have any regard for defence, just attacked constantly. So we had like guys on the ice for about 2 minutes at a time, absolutely knackered. The pressure was immense, and like I wasn't able to get a hold of the puck to cover it for a stoppage. So any time I did get a hold of it, it was like a scramble in front of net, which I couldn't get it on, or it was like a blocker to the side into the corner. I think they pulled the goalie with 2 minutes to go, and they had a few clear-cut chances, like grade A's, to tie up the game, and thankfully they didn't. And I think there was like 10 seconds left to go, and I couldn't see it. There was like 5 guys in front of me, and I knew the puck was like at someone's feet. So I'm just kind of looking about, no idea what's going on. And I just seen from the corner of my eye just a wee black smudge at the back post. And I was like, oh shit, there it is. So I just stuck my leg out. Luckily I'm a Leggy Blonde, so it just went all the way over to the post. And the guy tried to jam in, but I managed to wedge. And I think it was like whacking at my leg with a puck just about to go in for about 3 seconds or so. And then I just seen, I can't remember who it was, but they just iced it down to the bottom of the ice. And I just had the buzzer go off. And it was a good feeling, to be fair. It was a good time. Before then, we didn't really, I think we had only won 2 games before that or something. So it was good to beat one of the better teams with that kind of time to go. So it was really exciting. But yeah, I think that was probably the most impactful game last season for sure.
I would never have penned you down to say you're a Leggy Blonde though.
I think that's what I'm known around Paisley as.
So let's go back to the kind of team connection that we were talking about near the start. So how do you build that bond with the skaters when you're kind of separated from them most of the night, when they're jumping on and off the bench but you're planted firmly on the ice the whole game?
Yeah, I'd definitely say the connection's more kind of built up either in training or off the ice before games, or we've done it kind of historically in the past before the season gets kicked off, that we've done like a team activity day, especially, if we had some new faces in the team that no one really knew. So we'd always do like I think one year we went to like Go Ape in Aberfoyle.
Oh, nice.
That was a good laugh for the team. And then another time we did like foot golf, and then a couple of times Ian somehow made us up a treasure hunt for Glasgow. So you had like split up in teams and go in a car and like get a picture with an animal that pets at home. Then you had to go and get a picture of like the Duke of Wellington statue in Glasgow with the cone that's head and stuff. So it was quite fun because you're kind of with a group of guys that you wouldn't normally spend your time with, and you're getting to know each other. So we did stuff like that. We haven't done it this season yet. I think we might be doing something before the season kicks off. That's good. And I think just we're always at training an hour before we start, so it's always good to go out for a coffee with the guys, the head, just have a chat, talk rubbish really. It's a good way to get to know the guys that you haven't been in the team with before, in that sense. And then we're doing that all year, so by the end of the year you're all best mates by the end of it, with the guys who were strangers at the start of the season. So I think it's really important as well. I think it's a big thing that we do.
No, that's really good. It's good to hear that the team build that rapport, like even before the season's even started.
Yeah, exactly.
There'll be a lot of teams that are just like, well, here's your new teammates, go have fun. But it's good that the coaches are taking like a really good, they're investing the time to make sure everyone gets to know each other. That's really, really nice actually.
That is good. No, definitely. I remember I was quite lucky when I started because I knew if I played juniors with 4 or 5 of the guys already, and me and my pal Mikey Dobson, who did play with us, he came at the same time as me, so I wasn't really short of pals when I joined. But I can't imagine if like you've came from like a different team entirely and you don't know anyone, that can be quite intimidating. So that we always make everyone feel as welcome as possible, even if we didn't like them if they played for a different team before that.
So is that they'll dig at Ryan again?
Nah, exactly. Hope he's listening.
So with that connection built, you've obviously you're the last line of defence on the ice. And you see you'll see the whole play develop throughout the whole game as well.
Yeah.
How do you and what do you try to remind the rest of the guys on the ice about their position or the kind of pace or the rhythm of the game?
Probably say in my end, because it's a good point, because you can see everything. Sometimes it is quite frustrating if you can tell something's going to go wrong and it happens right in front of you. Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying earlier on, like if ever there's a stoppage in play and there's a face off next to our net, I'll always just try and chat to the guys as much as possible, saying like, this happened the last time, next time let's try and do this, in a sense. Not too tactically, because I know Ian and Rad put a lot of time into the guys' plays and stuff like that, and the positioning in the neutral zone and defensive zone. But if it's like stuff like that's avoidable and it's kind of like something that does need addressed, that I will just have a wee quiet word with them. Same with myself, if I'm doing something wrong, like the guys say, I just pack it in pretty much. So in that sense, so now I try that as much as I can, and then even if the guys do something right, and that, as I was saying earlier on, if it's like a 2-on-1 and I want to focus on the guy with the puck and they take the other guy, if I save it, I'll still scare up to guys and by the way, that was great, but do that again for the next time and just keep it doing it, sort of thing.
So looking at how you train, not so much with the team, but how you train. How do you make sure that you're still got those sharp reactions, the agility, both on and off the ice, even during the off season as well?
Yeah, normally if during the off season, like I will try and keep my fitness up. I do quite a lot of running during the off season most of the time. Not as much this summer, just injury, but even on the ice, I always do like quite a thorough warm up before I even face a puck. I think every goal does that anyway, but I do always just try and play other sports as well. So during the summer, I'll just play football with my pals, get my fives. I always go in goals, to be fair, which is quite good because they're the same height as hockey goals, but a wee bit longer. But I like doing that just to try and keep the reactions up. And there's a tennis court next to my house as well, so I think it's quite good playing tennis. I'm not really good at it, to be fair. But I think it's quite good. Like if someone's got a decent serve, it's kind of like facing a puck a wee bit when it bounces up towards you. So I don't catch them either. I try and hit them with the racket, so that's probably what I do with it. But I just try stuff like that and play plenty of golf as well. But it's a bit of a cop out, to be fair, when they say that. That helps anyway. But no, I think the best way for me to keep sharp during the off season is just to try and keep as fit as possible, because I'm always going to be rusty when I go back anyway. It's different, but I do go to some drop-ins as well at the time capsule for the summer, like once every second week or so, just for our rugby team, just to try and keep the legs moving and pardon me, and the muscles going as much as possible.
Is that with the?
It's like you go back after like 3 months of not training at all, like you feel like the Tin Man at the Wizard of Oz a wee bit.
Is that with Jamie Turnbull's sessions on the Monday nights?
It's the ones on a Wednesday.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think it was Hamilton Hawks the last season I did it.
Okay, aye.
It's quite a late time. It's like Wednesday, like 10 o'clock. So it's working the next day and stuff is a bit tough, but
that's like the Uni League. Like we play at like 10 o'clock at night, and sometimes as late as 11:30 at night.
That's what you know, you love the sport. You're playing that way.
Something like that, yeah.
Like I've seen you guys actually come on after us sometimes. I'm like,
aye.
Good luck to you.
It's terrifying.
You get a day off next day.
you would hope so. So do you like to do any kind of reactionary training at all? Anything specific like that?
I don't, to be fair. I probably should, but to be honest, I know quite a lot of guys do. All the goalies in the leagues and stuff like that. But me personally, I don't. To be honest, I used to do it when I was younger. When I was doing any sort of off-ice training, I'd get someone to stand behind me and like throw a tennis ball off the wall, and you'd kind of do it in that sense, or lying on your back and somebody like drops a tennis ball from arm height, you need to catch it before it bounces twice. We do stuff like that, but to be honest, I haven't done it in a wee while. But I probably should get back to it at some point.
Have you seen these kind of silly like reaction balls? There's kind of like
so bouncing, they can go anywhere.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. I've seen a few people use them before, like just to kind of help warm up as well.
Yeah,
and they swear by it.
I know it's good. It keeps you sharp because like just expecting to bounce back up again, but shoot to the right or left. And it definitely picks up the senses and gets you going for it.
So looking back, how would you say that your game has evolved since joining the Pirates?
I've probably evolved quite a bit, to be honest. When I first started, trying to think how long ago, it was like 8 years ago now, I think I've been there. I wasn't actually the best. It's quite obvious. So thankfully Ian and Adam at the time saw something to keep in the team. Because I remember turning up for a few trials and I just played terrible, and I thought, here we go. But no, I'd definitely say playing with the Pirates definitely benefited me. Just kind of getting up to speed with the SNL, because my old team, I played predominantly with the junior team, but didn't really get a shot at the SNL team. I think they gave me like a few games over 3 years. So I knew when the time came where I had to play SNL, I thought I'm better off trying somewhere else. So I think the quality of training I received at Paisley definitely helped. When I was training first as well, I had guys like Adam playing and a few other guys at quite a good level. Not saying that they don't anymore, that's not what I'm trying to say, but I think training with some good players like that, kind of faster shots against, and a bit more focus on goalies while training, definitely helped my game. So I feel like over the years I've slowly gotten better every year, and I feel like I had my best season last season, but that was my full season without injuries. So the year before that I broke my elbow, and this season I'm out, so I've not had a good start, but I feel like every year I get that wee bit better, or learn something by the end of the season in that sense.
Well, that kind of leads in quite well to my next question. So What do you have any kind of personal standout goals that you're chasing next?
Yeah, well, for me, when I'm back playing, I definitely want to just start more games over the season as a whole. Because I think I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how many games I've got. I think it's like 33 or something, because with the two new teams I'm added in. So yeah, I definitely want to play. Well, try and make 10 games this season, to be fair. But yeah, something along those lines. I'd like to either be pushing the number one spot, or at least play at least 10 games, I'd say. Better than last season, 7, and slowly bake up until it keeps going.
Easy achievable. Well, easily achieved anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Here's hoping. Hopefully I'm back playing. It's just like pick up where I left off, hopefully, when I'm back playing games.
No, definitely. So, last kind of part before we kind of finish up, looking at perspective from a goalie, what is something, kind of behind the mask that fans might not realise about playing a goalie that you would think that they should know?
It's definitely, I'd say, the loneliest position in all sport, being a goalie. It may not even be like specifically an ice hockey goalie, but yeah, it's tough because it's quite a high expectation on you at all times. Like, you could have the best game of your life, but if you let in 5 goals in the last 2 minutes, it doesn't matter. Like, you'll be remembered for that. So I think the best thing for people to realise is sometimes you need to understand the amount of pressure that can be put on you.
Yeah.
In a game, especially if it's a big game like a playoff game or like a final or even like a semi-final, just a game or even a league game, to be honest with you, because they all count. But
yeah,
I'd say people don't realise the pressure, because like sometimes in my head before I start a game I'm like, I better not have a howler here. Like, need to save the first shot. I don't want to let in like 3 goals in a minute and get taken out of the game. So it's quite a lot of mental toughness is involved. But yeah, like, I think people need to realise as well, it's all fun and well when you're playing really good and everyone's cheering for you, but you realise quickly how people don't appreciate you when you have a bad few games, which I've learned over the years a few times. I've taken it quite personally sometimes. That affects my whole week. If I have a rubbish game and I'm getting booed or something, or people are saying like, "Oh, he's rubbish, like, why is he even playing?" It does really affect me personally. I'd imagine it does for everyone else. It might say it doesn't, but I'm sure it does. So yeah, I think people need to realise, like, at the end of the day, like, you're a human being, sort of thing. You're not just a guy that stands there and you don't have any feelings, sort of thing. So no, I think people they need to appreciate, like, regardless how you're playing, you're still the same guy giving the good times. So if you're having a bad time, they need to get behind you rather than against you, for sure.
I think it's a great point. It's a great point. It's very much it's. You can see sometimes there's frustration, like from my point of view, sitting in the stands. You can see the frustration at times, but at the same time, that guy in the pads is, he's just like us, just another human being. He's there because he was a fan of the sport first.
Exactly.
You pretty much hit the nail on the head with that, and I couldn't agree more.
Cheers.
So, just before we wrap up, any advice for any aspiring netminders out there, and what should they focus on from the start? And I don't mean learn to skate. Everyone says that first, learn to skate. Is there anything they really should focus on from the start as well?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say probably consistency is the best thing, because when you start off as a goalie, if you're a player first as well, you feel like a bit of an alien, because the kit's completely different. There's been a few times when we've had a laugh at the end of the season with an old team, and like I've put a player's kit on for the day and they've become a goalie. We all say to each other at the end, like, how weird does that feel? I feel like I'm wearing nothing when I'm a player kit on. And then the other guys like I don't know how you can do that. So I'd definitely say just stick to it, even if you might not enjoy it sometimes, especially if you're training, because to be honest, not a lot of people do enjoy training, especially if it's a tough session. But you need to realise, if you really love the sport, just stick at it, and the results will happen as you get older as well, because it's quite tough when you're... Well, I remember being like 9 or 10 years old, and I couldn't even do a butterfly. I just dive around like a football goalie. So I definitely say take on any advice from goalie coaches and just turn up every week and play the sport you love, because it will come to a point where it all makes sense. And you do get progressively better, and you'll notice that you're able to do things that you didn't a few weeks ago or a month ago, and that's when it really clicks with you, thinking that I'm actually getting better. So yeah, I'll definitely say that's the the most important thing is just to stick at it, even if you're not enjoying it a wee bit sometimes.
Amazing. Callum, this has been great. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
No, likewise, thanks for having me as well, Callum. It's
an absolute pleasure. Anything you want to kind of sign off with?
Make sure you all get to Edinburgh on Sunday to watch the Pirates play Edinburgh.
This goes out after the Edinburgh game, so...
Well, who would put that? Make sure you get to Kirkcaldy then and watch the first league game of the season.
Yep. Anyway,
cheer us on, because we do appreciate the support from the fans, home or away. It's always appreciated. Yeah. So I spur everyone on to come along. Are
you going to be at them?
Yeah, I'll still be there. Yeah, still part of the team, so I'll always be there, regardless.
You go on the bench with Ian suited and booted?
Aye, I'll be wearing my trackie, but aye.
Oh no, you got to blend in.
We'll compromise in the middle. We'll see.
Fair enough. Right, Callum, this has been great. Thank you so much again.
Thanks a lot, Callum. Appreciate it. See you soon, mate.
The Paisley Pirates are proud to be sponsored by Cold-Blooded Sports, Renfrewshire Council, CycleLane.co.uk, Custom Sports Stitch, Hillington Tyre Services, Al Gold Photo, Studio 13, Abbey Services, and the Falk family.